I was having contractions every 7 minutes when my phone buzzed with a text from my mother. I was in my Denver apartment, 39 weeks pregnant, timing contractions on an app while my husband, Marcus, packed our hospital bag. The text made my hands shake so badly I almost dropped the phone. Jenna, your sister's wedding is tomorrow. Please tell me you're not going into labor. This is her day. Can you hold off until Sunday? We can't deal with this drama right now. I stared at those words. Read them twice. 3 times. My mother, the woman who was about to become a grandmother for the first time, was asking me to hold off on giving birth because it would create drama for my sister's wedding. Another contraction hit. Stronger this time. I breathed through it, and when it passed, I texted back with shaking fingers, "Mom, I don't control when the baby comes. I'm having contractions every 7 minutes. This is happening." Her response came immediately, "Can't you go to the hospital quietly? Don't post anything on social media. Don't tell anyone. We'll deal with this after the wedding. Your sister has been planning this day for 2 years. You're ruining it by going into labor now." I was ruining her wedding. By going into labor. With her first grandchild. On a day I had no control over. Marcus saw my face. "What's wrong? Is it the baby?" "No," I said, my voice strangely calm. "The baby's fine. It's my family. They want me to delay giving birth because it might ruin my sister's wedding." He stared at me. "They want you to what?" "Hold off until Sunday. Keep it quiet. Don't create drama." "Jenna, that's insane. You can't control when you go into labor. And even if you could, why would you delay medical care for a wedding?" Another contraction. 6 minutes this time. Getting closer. Getting stronger. And my phone kept buzzing. "My father, your mother told me." "Jenna, please be reasonable. Can't you wait a few more hours? The wedding's at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Just make it through that." My sister, Chelsea, "OMG Jenna, seriously? You couldn't wait one more day? This is so typical of you, always making everything about you." My aunt, thinking of Chelsea today. So excited for her big day. Not one person asked how I was feeling. Not one person asked about the baby. Not one person acknowledged that I was about to become a mother, that this was a major medical event, that I might be scared or need support. Just accusations that I was deliberately ruining Chelsea's perfect day by having the audacity to go into labor. My name is Jenna Morrison, and if you're watching this, stay with me. Because the family that told me I was ruining my sister's wedding by giving birth to their grandchild was about to learn what ruining actually meant. And when they tried to meet my daughter after the wedding, they discovered that the door they'd slammed in my face during labor had locked permanently from the other side. Let me take you back so you understand how we got here. I'm the older sister by 5 years in a family from Denver, Colorado. My parents, David and Linda Morrison, are the kind of people who care deeply about appearances and celebrations. My younger sister, Chelsea, has always been the golden child. The pretty one. The social one. The one whose life milestones got celebrated like national holidays while mine got footnotes. When I graduated summa cum laude from University of Colorado, my parents took me to Olive Garden. When Chelsea graduated with a 2.8 GPA 3 years later, they threw a massive party with 100 guests and hired a photographer. When I got engaged to Marcus, my parents' response was, "That's nice, dear. When's the wedding?" No excitement. No celebration. Just logistics. When Chelsea got engaged to her boyfriend Trevor 6 months later, my mother cried tears of joy and immediately started a Pinterest board with 847 pins. When I told them I was pregnant with their first grandchild, my mother's first response was, "Oh. Well, when are you due?" When I said early October, she went silent. Then, "That's the same month as Chelsea's wedding. You'll need to make sure you're recovered enough to be in the wedding photos." Not congratulations. Not we're so excited. Just concern about wedding photos. I should have known then. Should have seen the pattern clearly. But I kept hoping. Kept thinking maybe when the baby came, when they met their grandchild, things would change. They'd finally see me. Finally prioritize me. Finally treat my life milestones as mattering as much as Chelsea's. I was wrong. Because when I went into labor the day before Chelsea's wedding, their response wasn't, "We'll be right there," or, "Do you need anything?" It was, "You're ruining everything." My water broke at 11:47 p.m. that Friday night. Contractions immediately jumped to 4 minutes apart. Marcus called the hospital, grabbed our bags, and helped me to the car. As we drove through Denver toward the hospital, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. My mother, Jenna, "Did your water break? Please say no. Please tell me you're not at the hospital." I texted back between contractions, "Water broke. Contractions 4 minutes apart. Heading to hospital now." Her response, "Do not post anything on social media. Do not tell extended family. We're not announcing this until after the wedding. Chelsea doesn't need this distraction." My father, "How long does labor take? Can this be over by morning? We need to be at the venue by 2 p.m. for photos." Chelsea, "I can't believe you. You're doing this on purpose. You've always been jealous of me. Well, congratulations, you're successfully making my wedding day about you." I was in active labor, terrified, in pain, and my family was accusing me of being jealous and attention-seeking. For going into labor. A biological process I had zero control over. Marcus saw me reading the texts between contractions. He took my phone gently and turned it off. "Jenna, focus on the baby. Focus on you. They don't deserve your energy right now." Labor lasted 14 hours. My daughter, Lily Rose Morrison, was born at 2:13 p.m. on Saturday, October 14th, 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Perfect. Healthy. Beautiful. And the exact same time my mother and father were supposed to be taking photos with Chelsea at her wedding venue. The nurses asked if we wanted them to call anyone. Marcus said no. "Her family made it clear they're busy today," he said, his voice tight with anger he was barely controlling. So we didn't call them. Didn't text. Didn't announce. We just sat in that hospital room, me holding Lily, Marcus holding both of us, and we made a decision without saying it out loud. We were done. Done trying to earn their love. Done competing for their attention. Done accepting crumbs when we deserved the whole cake. At 6:47 p.m., my phone, which Marcus had turned back on to take photos of Lily, started exploding with notifications. The wedding was over. And suddenly, my family remembered I existed. My mother, "Jenna? Did you have the baby? Why haven't you updated us? We've been worried sick." Worried sick. For 7 hours. While they were at a wedding celebrating my sister. My father, "Send us photos. When can we come meet our granddaughter? Chelsea, OMG, you had the baby. I'm an aunt. When can I visit? I want to post pictures." I looked at those messages. Looked at Lily, sleeping peacefully in my arms. Looked at Marcus, who'd been by my side through every contraction, every push, every terrifying moment, while my family had been concerned only about photographs and cake. And I made the easiest decision of my life. I turned off my phone and told Marcus, "They don't get to meet her. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Maybe not ever. They made their choice. They chose a party over their grandchild's birth. They don't get to just show up now and act like they care." "Are you sure?" Marcus asked gently. "Because once you do this, there's no going back." "I'm sure," I said. They called me selfish and attention-seeking for going into labor. They accused me of deliberately ruining Chelsea's day. They told me not to tell anyone, to keep it quiet, to wait until after the wedding to deal with this. My daughter deserves better than grandparents who see her birth as an inconvenience. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days. Standard recovery period. In those 2 days, I received 47 text messages, 15 voicemails, and 6 emails from various family members. All variations of "when can we visit," and "send photos," and "we can't wait to meet Lily." I responded to none of them. Instead, I called my best friend, Alicia, who I'd known since high school and who wasn't related to my family. "Ollie, can you help us when we get home? I'm not ready for family visitors yet." "Of course," she said without hesitation. "What do you need?" "Just presence. Support. Someone who actually prioritizes us instead of treating us like we're background characters in someone else's story." Ollie showed up at the hospital with home-cooked meals, baby supplies we'd forgotten, and fierce protective energy. "I saw Chelsea's wedding photos on Facebook," she said quietly. 200 guests. Ice sculpture. 5-tier cake. Your parents in every photo looking thrilled. And their daughter was in labor the entire time, and they didn't leave once to check on you. "I know," I said simply. "Jenna, I'm going to say this as your friend who loves you. Those people don't deserve access to your daughter. You've spent your entire life trying to earn their attention. Don't let Lily inherit that struggle." We came home from the hospital on Monday evening. Marcus had installed a video doorbell the day before, anticipating that my family might show up uninvited. He was right. Tuesday morning at 9:15 a.m., the doorbell camera caught my mother pulling into our driveway. She had balloons, a gift bag, and what looked like a casserole dish. She rang the doorbell. Knocked. Rang again. We didn't answer. We just watched through the camera as she stood there for 5 minutes, confused, then angry, then hurt, before finally leaving the gifts on our doorstep and driving away. She texted immediately, "Jenna, I know you're home. I saw your car. Why won't you answer the door? I just want to meet my granddaughter." "You're being ridiculous." I responded with a text I'd been composing in my head for 3 days. "Mom, when I was in labor, you told me I was ruining Chelsea's wedding. You asked me to hold off on giving birth. You told me not to tell anyone, to keep it quiet, to wait until after the wedding. You prioritized party photos over your first grandchild's birth. So no, you don't get to just show up now and meet Lily like nothing happened. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine." Her response came quickly, "That's not fair. The wedding was important. It was Chelsea's special day. You can't punish us forever for one comment." "It wasn't one comment, Mom. It was a pattern. It's been a pattern my entire life. Chelsea's life events are celebrations. Mine are inconveniences. I'm done accepting that. Lily deserves grandparents who would drop everything to be there for her. You proved you're not those people. So you don't get access to her. You can't keep us from our grandchild. We have rights." I screenshot that text and sent it to my attorney, Richard Chen, who I'd been working with on estate planning after Lily was born. "Richard, document this. My mother just claimed she has rights to access my child. I want legal documentation that she has no such rights and that any attempts to force contact will be met with restraining orders if necessary." "Consider it done," Richard replied. "Also, Jenna, I'm sorry. You're doing the right thing. Grandparents' rights cases are rare and difficult to win, especially when parents are actively excluding them for documented reasons. You're protecting your daughter. That's your job." Over the next 2 weeks, the attempts to contact me escalated. My father showed up at our house 3 times. Chelsea came once with Trevor, both of them confused about why I wasn't answering. My aunt sent a long email about family healing and forgiveness. Various cousins reached out with messages like, "I heard there's drama, what's going on?" I responded to no one. Just documented every attempt, every message, every time someone said I was overreacting, or being dramatic, or punishing them for one mistake. Then, 3 weeks after Lily was born, I got an unexpected call from my maternal grandmother, Grandma Ruth, who I'd always been close to. She was the one person in my family who'd consistently shown up for me. "Jenna, sweetheart, I heard about what happened. Your mother told me her version. But I want to hear yours. I told her everything. The texts during labor. The accusations of ruining the wedding. The requests to keep quiet. The complete absence during Lily's birth. The aftermath. Grandma Ruth was silent for a long moment. Then, your mother has always put Chelsea on a pedestal. I've watched it happen for 30 years. I've tried to talk to her about it, but she doesn't see it. She genuinely believes Chelsea needs more support, more attention, more celebration because she's more sensitive. And she thinks you're strong enough to handle being deprioritized. It's not fair. It's never been fair. And I'm ashamed I didn't do more to stop it. Grandma, you were always there for me, I said, tears in my eyes. You're the only one who showed up. I'd like to meet Lily, if you'll let me. Not as a representative of your parents. But as your grandmother who loves you and is genuinely excited about your daughter. Would that be okay? Yes, I said without hesitation. Come whenever you want. Grandma Ruth came the next day. She held Lily with tears streaming down her face. She's beautiful, Jenna. Perfect. And you're an amazing mother already. I can see it. I'm so proud of you. Those words, I'm proud of you, I realized I'd been waiting my entire life to hear them from my parents. And they'd never come. But hearing them from Grandma Ruth meant everything. Your parents are devastated, Grandma said gently. They don't understand why you're keeping them away. They genuinely believe they didn't do anything wrong. And that's exactly the problem, I said. They don't see it. They don't see that asking your daughter to delay giving birth for a wedding is insane. They don't see that missing your grandchild's birth for party photos is a choice that has consequences. They don't see the pattern of Chelsea's needs always coming before mine. And if they can't see it, they can't change it. And I'm not subjecting Lily to that dynamic. I think you're right, Grandma Ruth said. And I think, eventually, they might come to understand. But they need to do the work. Real work. Not just apologizing to get access to Lily, but genuinely examining how they've treated you. 1 month after Lily's birth, my mother sent a letter. Handwritten, 8 pages. I almost didn't read it, but curiosity won. Dear Jenna, I've spent the past month in therapy trying to understand how we got here. My therapist asked me to describe your childhood and Chelsea's. When I did, she pointed out something I'd never seen. Every story I told about you involved you being responsible, mature, handling things on your own. Every story about Chelsea involved me stepping in to help her, support her, celebrate her. My therapist asked, did Jenna not need help? Or did you just assume she didn't because she seemed capable? I didn't have an answer. The truth is painful, I took you for granted. I treated your strength as if it meant you didn't need love, support, celebration. I treated Chelsea's struggles as if they made her more deserving of attention. When you went into labor, my first thought wasn't, my daughter needs me. It was, this will ruin Chelsea's wedding. That's unforgivable. I prioritized a party over your medical emergency. I prioritized your sister's photos over your daughter's birth. I called you selfish for going into labor. Jenna, I failed you. Not just that day, but for 30 years. You deserved parents who celebrated your graduation as much as Chelsea's. Who were as excited about your engagement as hers. Who would have dropped everything to be at Lily's birth. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. I know words don't undo decades of hurt. But I'm working with my therapist to understand why I created this dynamic and how to change. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect access to Lily. I just needed you to know, you were never the problem. You were never too much or not enough. You were perfect. And I failed to see it. I'm so sorry. Mom. I read it 3 times. It was the most self-aware thing my mother had ever written. But it didn't change my decision. Because apologies are just words until they're backed by changed behavior. And one letter didn't undo 30 years of being second place to Chelsea. I showed the letter to Marcus. What do you think? I think it's a good first step, he said carefully. But it's just a step. Does she understand that access to Lily isn't a right she can earn back with one apology? Does she understand that you might never be ready to let them back in? I don't know, I said honestly. And I'm not ready to find out yet. 3 months after Lily's birth, Chelsea called me from a new number I hadn't blocked. I answered, curious what she'd say. Jenna, can we talk? Really talk? Not through text, not through Mom. Just us? Why? Because Trevor and I are trying to get pregnant. And the process has made me realize something horrible. If I went into labor on someone else's important day, I'd expect them to drop everything and be there for me. But I told you that you ruined my wedding by having a baby. I accused you of being jealous and attention-seeking for something you couldn't control. Jenna, I was a monster. I was silent, processing this. Mom's been in therapy. Did you know that? She's been trying to understand why she's always treated us so differently. And hearing her work through it has made me see my own behavior. I've been the golden child my whole life. I got praised for mediocrity while you got criticized for excellence. I got celebrations while you got footnotes. And I never questioned it because it benefited me. I took and took and took, and you gave and gave and gave, and I never once said thank you or acknowledged how unfair it was. What do you want, Chelsea? I asked tiredly. I want to apologize. Genuinely. Not to get access to Lily, though I'd love to meet my niece someday, but because you deserve to hear it. You didn't ruin my wedding. Your labor didn't make my day about you. My reaction made my day about my own selfishness. I'm sorry. For that day and for every day before it when I accepted being prioritized over you without questioning why. I appreciate the apology, I said carefully. I really do. But Chelsea, this isn't about one day. It's about a lifetime. And I need more than apologies. I need to see that people have actually changed before I let them back into my life. Because Lily's watching. She's learning what family looks like from me. And I won't teach her that being deprioritized is normal. I understand, Chelsea said. And Jenna? For what it's worth, you're going to be an amazing mother. Because you're breaking the cycle. You're refusing to repeat the patterns that hurt you. That takes courage I don't know if I have. 6 months after Lily's birth, I finally responded to my mother's letter. I didn't invite her to visit. I didn't offer reconciliation. I just acknowledged that I'd received it and appreciated her willingness to examine her behavior. Mom, I got your letter. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate you going to therapy and doing the work. But I need you to understand, this isn't something that can be fixed quickly. You spent 30 years building a dynamic where Chelsea's needs always came first. That's not undone with a few months of therapy. If you're serious about changing, keep doing the work. Not to earn access to Lily, but because it's the right thing to do. Maybe someday we can rebuild. But I'm not ready yet. And I need you to respect that. Jenna. She responded simply, I understand. I'll keep working. I love you. 1 year after Lily's birth, Grandma Ruth hosted a small birthday party for Lily at her house. Just me, Marcus, Lily, Alicia and her family, and a few close friends. No extended family. No drama. Just people who'd consistently shown up for us. At the party, Alicia pulled me aside. Jenna, I need to tell you something. Your mother asked me to convince you to let her see Lily. She offered me money. Actually offered me money to try to change your mind. My stomach dropped. What did you say? I told her no. I told her that trying to bribe her way into your life proves she still doesn't understand what she did wrong. Access to Lily isn't something to be bought or manipulated. It's something to be earned through genuine change over time. She didn't respond well. Thank you for telling me, I said. And thank you for saying no. Always. You and Lily deserve people who respect your boundaries without trying to circumvent them. My name is Jenna Morrison. I was in labor when my parents texted that I was ruining my sister's wedding. They asked me to hold off on giving birth. They accused me of being selfish and attention-seeking. They missed their granddaughter's birth because they were at a party taking photos. So when they showed up afterward expecting to meet Lily like nothing had happened, I said no. Not out of spite, but out of protection. Because my daughter deserved grandparents who would drop everything for her. And they'd proven they weren't those people. A year later, my mother's in therapy working on herself. My sisters apologized genuinely. My father's still in denial but trying. And I'm raising Lily surrounded by people who actually prioritize us: Marcus, Alicia, Grandma Ruth, our chosen family who showed up without being asked. Will I ever let my parents back into our lives? Maybe. Maybe not. But it won't be because they pressured me, manipulated me, or tried to buy their way in. It'll be because they demonstrated genuine, lasting change. Because Lily's watching how I handle people who hurt me. And I'm teaching her that love requires more than biology. It requires respect, prioritization, and showing up when it matters. They chose a wedding over their grandchild's birth. I chose my daughter's well-being over their guilt. Fair trade, if you ask me.